Hello Year 10. It's time to begin our focus on the requirements of the GCSE English exam. Now, over the last few weeks, we've clearly been concentrating on finishing reading Macbeth, and it hasn't been ideal, though I've done my best to get the key messages of the play across to you. Though I cannot quantify how much or how little you have assimilated the content that I transmitted to you beyond what I can see on your screens via Securely. So, if you need to return to the text to complete any annotation or to develop your understanding of the language or the themes, then that is your responsibility until we get back to school. So let me reiterate one message loud and clear. You will be sitting 4 exams covering GCSE English Language and GCSE English Literature in about 53 to 57 weeks time. Regardless of what the situation is right now, that's just a basic fact of life. That's not a long time. The course is very tightly packed. We've read 2 out of the 4 GCSE literature texts. We'll obviously have to return to the 2 for revision. And we need to prepare for the 2 GCSE language exams from scratch. There's simply no time for us now to sit back as if we're on some sort of holiday. We're not. So please think of the bigger picture and listen in closely. Now, firstly, I'll tell you in general terms about the content of the English language course, and then I'm going to zoom into a few specifics this lesson. Now, please note that I've shared with you a slides presentation that also sets out what I'm telling you now, and you should refer to that carefully, both to consolidate this important information, but also to complete a number of practice tasks this lesson. Now, there are 2 English language exams, and the basic, easy to remember format is that each exam takes the form of a posh comprehension and a piece of creative writing. The focus is different in each paper, but that's essentially the key format. The creative writing on one exam, paper 1, is imaginative, fictional, descriptive, while the creative writing on paper 2 is called transactional, essentially non-fiction writing, perhaps persuasive. Now, over the next series of lessons, we're going to focus specifically on English language paper 1. But initially, in the slides shared with you, you'll see that we're first of all going to focus on a few key skills needed in order to understand how to tackle the exam questions, whether that be on paper 1 or paper 2. After we've done that, we're going to move on to looking at a full English language paper 1 exam paper, but broken down into really easily digestible chunks. The key skills required move from a simple and basic information retrieval, selecting the right quotations, for example, from a text, through to much more challenging questions. You commenting how language is used in a text, or evaluating how successfully a piece of writing gets a message across. All of that is achievable. Think about how we've talked endlessly about using that technique of PEA to analyse Jekyll and Hyde in Macbeth. It's the same idea. Think of a point, choose a quotation, zoom in with analysis. Once you have the basic system and structure in place to answer each question, it becomes easy. You can jump through the hoops of the exam paper and achieve a fantastic grade and make me look fantastic next year. So, for this lesson, read carefully through the slides shared with you. Please focus on reading in detail all of the slides, including those that show you the sorts of things that you should be selecting to comment on and the examples given of how to write about them, rather than simply skipping through and looking at the slides that ask you to complete a task in order to rush to the end. I'll speak to you next time.